What is up, fam? Gamers, players, casuals, and everything in between. This week, we welcome you all to episode 18 of the weekly patch notes. I'm your host, Thamziri, and with me, I got Kid Kojo. What's good, homie?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm Gucci gang. This week, we do not have Max. He will catch you guys on the next episode. But yeah, he is a millennial gamer. And one of our co-hosts, a very dear friend who's got opinions upon opinions ranging from the sane to the ridiculous. And yeah, as always, guys, our social media handles and links are in the description, so don't worry about missing out on any of the information. Alongside those links are any articles as well as any other information that we do talk about in today's episode. And yeah, with all that being said, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow X to Skip. Any and all support is welcomed. Now, let's get into the gaming tidbits. Okay, starting with the gaming news, which is usually held by Max, but oh wait, before we even get started, Kojo, do you have any updates?
Nah, none.
Nothing? Alright, cool. So getting into the gaming news, I actually have one thing. And this shocked me, you know. Funny enough, it was actually announced today. Fortnite is finally adding a ranked mode, and players are thrilled. Being me, exactly, because that's the one thing I kept saying, is that there's no need for me to play Fortnite, you know, to just constantly keep chasing a battle pass or chasing skins or emotes. You know, I need more of a challenge. Finally, Fortnite joins a growing list of other battle royale titles, embracing a competitive mode. Now, they did have something similar to this, to like a competitive mode, whereby they had some kind of like ranking system, but I don't think the MMR was all that great. On top of that, Fortnite still has a lot of NPCs. Well, not NPCs, sorry. I should say bots if you're playing solo and you're low level or low matchmaking rating, right? So I'm keen to see how this is going to go. So in Apex Legends' most recent seasonal update, Respawn massively overhauled ranked play with a new scoring system and key matchmaking updates. Activision then followed suit by adding ranked play mode, featuring a comprehensive skill rating system, 7 divisions, and rewards to Call of Duty. Valorant went one step further, offering players a chance to earn spots as professional players through its competitive mode. So that's flipping interesting. So they basically announced that a new way to grab the victory royale is coming. Will you rise through the ranks? That was the hint right there. So, you know, Fortnite has been known to always have like these weekly or bi-weekly tournaments every now and then, some for cash prizes, some for, you know, V-Bucks and fancy exclusive skins. The Battle Royale has also hosted things like Cash Cups, which are small weekly tournaments that give the best players an opportunity to make some money and prove their skill against top players in the region and on their platform. So this will be the first dedicated competitive mode in Fortnite history. And as fans, we are understandably excited over the announcements. And that is the gaming news that I have. Kojo, do you have any gaming news?
Just one or two things. So first off, we have the Summer Games Fest. Now, we spoke about how E3 was cancelled for this year. Well, in the past few years, we've had the Summer Games Fest created by Jeff Keighley. And this year, it's going to be held on June the 8th. And this year, they announced that it's going to be in person. And it's going to take place in the YouTube Theater in Los Angeles. And it's going to host, the YouTube Theater has 6,000 seats. So tickets are available now. And they recently tweeted the 2023 partners. And basically, these are the people you're going to hear updates from. And there's a lot of them. There's 40 plus of them. But I'm just going to list a few. You have Square Enix. You have Xbox. You have Amazon Games. You have Activision. You have Netflix. You have PlayStation, Steam, Magic, Devolver, Capcom, Bandai Namco, Gearbox. There's a lot. So we'll leave the link down below, or you can go check out Summer Games Fest Twitter to check it out for yourself. So it should be a good one. June 8th, I'm going to be there. Well, not in person, unfortunately. but I'm going to be watching at home. It's going to be a good time. Can't wait to see all the new games and stuff from all of these partners. It should be a good time. And secondly, the second thing that I have is a video game delay, Hollow Knight Silksong. So Hollow Knight Silksong is a sequel to Hollow Knight. And it's been a highly anticipated game that was announced back in 2019 for the Nintendo Switch. And we didn't hear anything about it until June 2022, when I think it was 2022, when Microsoft made a surprise announcement or surprise appearance, at Microsoft's presentation in June 2022, and everybody was surprised. I was surprised to see it there because I thought it was a Nintendo Switch only game, but it showed up there, and it's recently come out that the game is going to be delayed. Matthew Griffin, who works as a part of the marketing and publishing team for Hollow Knight Silksong, he tweeted, and I quote, "Hey gang, just a quick update about Silksong. We had planned to release in the first half of 2023, but development is still continuing. We're excited by how the game is shaping up, and it's gotten quite big, so we want to take the time to make the game as good as we can. Expect more details from us once we get closer to release." So, yeah, a lot of people are bummed out that the game is getting delayed, but I think in recent memory, people are like, you know what, delay a game, make it good, because you don't want another repeat of Cyberpunk or Fallout 76. Just really delay a game, make it good. But Moist Critical made a point, and it was like, there's a difference between delaying to make a game good, polishing, and development hell. And I agree. Like, you can only delay a game so long until you start to believe there's something going wrong here, versus, oh, we're delaying a game for a little while so we can put the finishing touches on it. So hopefully this is not in development hell. Hopefully it's just, hey, it's coming along great, everything is fine, we just need to make it the best as we can for you people. So yeah, that's, hopefully the game comes out soon and people are gonna love it. And yeah, that's it for the news on my side.
Oh yeah, thanks broski. Alrighty. So just one thing I want to have a comment on with what you said. So I agree with you fully that generally if a game takes way too long to develop, for most people, you know, to a whole thing of like losing faith, like saying, oh no, the game's gonna totally suck ass or whatever. Me, it's simply I forget about the game. If like a game is advertised so many times, and it's also the same as like movies. If a movie has 11 trailers, I've seen the movie. Yeah. You know, pretty much I've seen it. It's like, what's the point? 11 trailers. That's a movie, dog. Like, you're showing all the means of like the plot. I'm gonna piece it all together. It's the same with like games. You know, I actively always try to avoid watching gameplay footage that's released. Like, I don't want to know about it. I think that's what kind of ruined God of War for me, because upon seeing how the gameplay was going to be, you know, obviously it didn't change throughout all the previous God of Wars, but it's to say that, okay, certain elements, you know, like with Kratos' new weapon, is to say that like, okay, I can pretty much see how I'm going to play this already before the game's even out, and then only to get, you know, the actual game, play it, and I'm like, I knew this is going to be exactly how I pictured in my head. Like, look, obviously that's what people want, but I still want that wow factor, you know. And generally, if a game takes too long to develop, I'll forget about the game to a point where the wow factor is not even there. It's just like, oh, that game came out, oh cool, you know, like, yeah.
I completely agree. I get you.
Yeah, man. All right, moving on to the gaming corner. Kojo, take us away, bro.
Yeah, so let's talk about the releases of the week. First off, we have a game called Darkest Dungeon 2, released on PC on May the 8th, 2023, currently sitting at an 80 on Metacritic. We have a game called Weird West that is making its appearance on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, released on May 8th, 2023. We have YS9 Monstrum Nox on PlayStation 5, released on May 9th, 2023. We have The Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth, released on iOS and Android, May 10th, 2023. We have Death or Treat, released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and PC, released on May 11th, 2023. And we have Marvel's Midnight Suns, released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, making its appearance on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, released on May 11th, 2023. And finally, we have the big one of the month and of the year, And mine and Max's personal pick for Game of the Year, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, released on the Nintendo Switch on May 12th, 2023. Currently sitting at a, guess what, Tommy, on Metacritic?
98?
Close, 96.
Okay, well, goddamn.
Yeah, it's around the same as the first game. I think the first game also did a 96, 97, somewhere there. So,
like, the amount of shit I've been seeing people say on Twitter about the game, even Phil DeFranco and all that, and I'm just like, guys, you know, I'm still waiting for some footage. You know, who's gonna stream it first? Some people are scared because of Nintendo, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna play around.
Yeah, they were waiting for today. So
yeah.
If you go on Twitch, I was watching a few people play on Twitch earlier today because as soon as the embargo lifted, everybody's like, yes. You know, it had like over 100,000 people watching on Twitch because everybody wanted to see this game. So I'm watching a bit, and it looks, I mean, like I think this is gonna win Game of the Year. But yeah, and that's it from the gaming corner.
Oh yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, it might be the first Zelda game I'll probably ever play. Not gonna really go all the way back, you know, like it's not to say I'm not a huge Nintendo fan. It's just I didn't have as much exposure to Nintendo games besides the Wii, you know.
Yeah.
And all these other games that people speak of, I've never had the chance to even take a look at them. But we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll probably expand my gaming catalog, because as much as I say I'm bored of, you know, the current games I'm playing, to start branching out and increase my backlog of games, it's probably not a good idea. I'll wait until my backlog is cleared, but yeah, we'll see. Alrighty. So thanks, bro. Okay, guys. We hope you're enjoying the show. Just a quick reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow so that we can get the show to more people. Once again, I'm Thamziri, and with me is Kid Kojo, and let's keep this ish going. All right. Now, moving on to the content creator news. Adriana Chechik accuses IndieFoxx and DanDangler of plotting to get Amouranth banned on Twitch. So, this is following up from what she had raised in the previous episode, Kojo, when Amouranth was banned on May the 4th for 24 hours and no one knew why, right? So although there's no reason that has been, you know, established publicly for the ban as to why it happened, it appears that there are fellow streamers with ambitions to have Amouranth suspended permanently for unknown reasons. So the streamers that I had mentioned, IndieFoxx, DanDangler. So IndieFoxx, who has had a very public feud with Amouranth in the past, as we know. If you don't, definitely go look it up. It was dumb, to say the least. Amouranth even suggested that she baited, you know, IndieFoxx, known as GenFox, into getting banned in an interview. And then back during the height of like the hot tub streaming controversy. So Adriana Chechik then revealed that GenFox, again, who is IndieFoxx, and DanDangler obviously tried to plan to get Amouranth banned permanently. So in a series of tweets addressing the fellow streamer DanDangler, Adriana Chechik revealed text messages that she received offering her to feature on a podcast to discuss Amouranth. So Chechik has also been critical of Amouranth recently, saying she has no respect for her. Amouranth then responded by offering to fight her in a boxing match in the creator clash. So, you know, perhaps encouraged by Adriana Chechik calling her out, GenFox, aka IndieFoxx, and DanDangler apparently reached out to offer a chance to go into more detail on a podcast, right? So Adriana Chechik then said, DanDangler hit me up with a text message from IndieFoxx trying to get me to do a podcast with her to bring Amouranth down. Like, no, I said. She was mean, but I'm a grown woman and it's not my job to defame anyone. That's what she had tweeted, right? She then showed screenshots of the texts in the same tweet. In them, GenFox, aka IndieFoxx, says to DanDangler, when you're ready to do the podcast, I have a way to get her banned. So Adriana Chechik's one tweet then said, like, what the hell is this drama? Starting bullshit. I'm team woman. And when I said let's do it, I was referring to a collaboration not to bring down a girl who's banned on my Twitch, which is against, terms of service, to purposefully try to get someone banned and to trash talk somebody. You guys should start finding better idols to look up to. So that was the tweet. And then she also posted the actual texts of DanDangler as well as IndieFoxx trying to plan for this podcast to happen in order to shut Amouranth down. So DanDangler then said in some of the texts as well, saying, if we get enough viewers, they will naturally mass report Amouranth. Once I show them how she's breaking terms of service. DanDangler then sent these to Adriana Chechik, adding, she's wondering if you want to do a podcast with Amouranth with her. Obviously, she being IndieFoxx. So although Adriana Chechik said, let's do it, she clarified that this was referring to doing a collaboration, not specifically to do the podcast about shutting down Amouranth. So neither IndieFoxx nor DanDangler have responded to Adriana Chechik's claim at the time of writing. So when Adriana Chechik pretty much exposed the text, wanting to clear everything out, we have not heard anything from IndieFoxx or DanDangler on the matter. So yeah, it's very interesting to me because I watched an interview earlier today by one of our local South African streamers, and a pretty dope person, Rishka GG. You can check her out on Twitch, as well as YouTube. So she mentioned quite a lot, in the sense that for her as well, she's also team woman, because obviously there are so many things that as a woman you face when you come into the content creator space. You're getting all these for lack of better words, let me say, you get all these PP pics, you're getting all the sexual harassment, you're getting all these comments, everything, from just being on stream to actually just being in a game and, playing shit. So the best thing that you could honestly just do is support each other. Support your gender, bro. Like, support your community, support, your race, whatever it is. Sometimes in this world, we got to band together. We don't really live in a world nowadays where, in these types of spaces, like the content creator space, you can truly fly solo. I don't think anyone has truly flown solo. At some point, everyone's done a collaboration. And I'm even speaking about the PewDiePies of YouTube. Because he's even done things with Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Anime Man, Giguk, and many more. So not everyone is solo, and the best thing you can honestly do is just band together. So this stuff, look, I'm not surprised that North American streamers are taking this angle. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised, especially of the individuals being, IndieFoxx as well as DanDangler. Now, DanDangler, look, don't really know much about her at all, to be honest. I don't know how she's even relevant. This was probably the first time I even heard her name. Obviously did research, just checked her videos and everything. I've never seen this hun in like any controversy ever, so it's interesting to me. IndieFoxx, I could fully understand why she's doing this, 100%. The feud that they had, her and Amouranth back in the day, I fully understand why she wants to do this. Now, shots, not shots, props to Adriana Chechik for exposing this, like, truly, because I am so keen to see how much of the backlash is going to happen, especially from the likes of Pokimane. I've already run out of like names of streamers after Pokimane, because when it comes to streamers, all I ever talk about is either Pokemon or Amouranth. I don't care about many of the others, to be honest. Two queens of streaming, come on. Anyways, it's just interesting to now see what's going to happen, at these parties that they have whenever they go to like StreamerCon after parties or any type of party, because with Adriana Chechik obviously taking sides here, on Amouranth's side, or taking team woman, she's clearly kept herself out of the firing line. But IndieFoxx and DanDangler are likely to face immense backlash, especially from their own peers. And women in general. So yeah, this is very interesting to see how it's going to turn out. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, that is it from my side. Kojo, any content creator news?
Just one. So everybody's favorite content creator, MrBeast.
Oh God, okay.
I don't want to say he's found himself in controversy, because basically people are mad about something that he did. Again.
Is it the
and
deaf?
no, it wasn't that one actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so basically, recently it came out, or it has been reported, that MrBeast had bought various properties in a cul-de-sac in North Carolina in order to, for himself, his family, and his employees. And obviously, this has drawn some backlash with people saying it's a cult and that type of thing. Basically, people have just had, they're not receiving the news well. And one person on Twitter wrote, "What a nice man. Surely a CEO buying homes and creating neighborhoods for the employees' families has no historical relevance or background at all." Basically, this was an ironic tweet, if you couldn't read it.
Of course.
Yeah. But MrBeast replied to this, and he said, "Only I could get cancelled for giving people a place to live with no strings attached. All these company town tweets make no sense. I was just trying to help some people." And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really much to that. It's just this man can do, he can literally, I feel like, yeah, there's just no winning with MrBeast. He could do anything and people will still find a way to hate on him. I'm not saying I have an opinion. I'm not pro MrBeast or anti MrBeast. I'm just saying that anything he does, people will just find a way to just take it the wrong way. I don't know. Tell me, what do you think?
Since you brought this up, I have a whole ass discussion, which I'll say for the discussion session.
Oh yeah, of course. Perfect.
Because you know me, guys. Those who know me, listening to this, you will know that this whole MrBeast shandies, I've been skeptical since day one.
Yeah.
I don't care what angle you tell me that this nigga's coming from. I always am gonna ask myself, but why?
Yeah.
Fair. Why is he going to these lengths? I don't get it. Whatever the catch is, I'm just waiting for it to fully be exposed. Now and then there's some things that get leaked out, but I'll raise those in the discussion. Okay, so is that all for your section, my guy?
Yes, that's all for my content creator news.
Cool. Let's move on to esports. So SKT T1 hammer down on Mad Lions in the second fastest game in international league history. So, League of Legends, of course, as you guys know, one of my favorite games. After a nail-biting 34-minute first game with 51 kills, T1 took control of their MSI 2023 series against Mad Lions and stomped the LEC first seed in the following two games with a combined 39-10 kill score. So, the final game was wrapped up within 16 minutes and 50 seconds, making it the shortest game of the tournament so far and the second quickest international League of Legends history. So that's actually amazing. So for those who've never played League of Legends, right? Now, in the professional... okay, let me start with the base game. In the base game itself, you have to play with your team up until... So in the first 3 minutes, if no one has died on either sides of the team, you can forfeit the game, right? It has to be unanimous. At 15 minutes, you can also forfeit. It has to be unanimous. At 20 minutes, it is a majority vote to forfeit, whereby if it's 3 out of 5 in your team who have voted yes, they want to forfeit, they may do so. So before that chance even comes, SKT T1 defeated Mad Lions before they even get that chance to even try to forfeit. But in League of Legends, professional league, forfeiting at 20 minutes, forfeiting at all in the game is not allowed. You know, people pay money to buy seats and tickets to come to watch the tournament. You can't just forfeit. You got to play to the very end, no matter how painfully you are losing. So the fact that SKT could do something like this, you know, for a while now, for the past, I think 3 to 4 years, we've been wondering, you know, what's happening with SKT, what's happening, you know, to their power. They used to be dominating for almost 11 years straight, right? Until other teams started coming in, Samsung Whites, this and this and this, in the past few years. And now to see SKT rising up in the MSI, like I mentioned in the previous episode, you know, MSI as well as the summer and spring splits are the determining factors of who will end up in the World Championship Series. So seeing SKT do so well right now gives me so much hope for when World Championships comes at the end of this year. And that is it for my esports. Any esports from you, Kojo?
Yeah, just one. So the qualifiers for the ALGS, or the Apex Legends Global Series, have finally ended. So all the teams, the 40 teams that have qualified from all the regions across the world, are moving forward to the Split 2 playoffs, which are being held in London at the Copper Box Arena from July the 13th to the 16th. So the group stages are going to be July the 13th and the 14th. The bracket stage is July the 15th, and the finals are July the 16th. And basically, it's the top 20 teams of these 40 teams. The top 20 teams are going to share $1 million. Is a $1 million prize pool. And I'll go through the entire list of teams, but it's 40 teams and it's a long list, so I'm not going to go through all of that. We'll leave a link in the description for you guys to take a look at. But yeah, the Split 1 playoffs were fun. It was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. TSM walked out with that win. Would they be able to defend themselves? They were on the verge of not qualifying for the Split 2 playoffs, to be honest with you. But then they somehow made it through them and NRG, who are like the two biggest teams in Apex, and people called it, Apex scripting, script writing, that type of thing, like plot armor, because, they barely made it, but they made it. And Sweet, who is the captain for NRG, was like, is it really a LAN tournament without TSM and NRG? And people are like, yeah, no, you're right, it isn't. So it's going to be fun. I'll be watching from home because, I can't go to London to watch it live. Maybe one day. But yeah, that's it for my esports news.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Now, moving on to the discussion. So, like I was saying,
yep,
the MrBeast shandies now. Again, I've been skeptical since day one. We all know that everyone has, something to say about people who do good things but put it behind the camera. We always shit on people who do that on Instagram, Reels, on TikTok, on YouTube videos and shit. Now comes this dude who does it, and all of a sudden it's okay. To a point, he takes it further. Like usually those people who are doing charitable things on TikTok and whatever, generally it's always, look, okay, before we even start to argue whether or not I'm going to specifically point towards like those ones who always film homeless people, right?
Yeah.
For some, there's always speculation like, oh, that person was hired, that person was scripted before they got told. Even if they are actually homeless, they were probably, told that, hey, look, we want to put you in a video or that type of shit. Now, I don't know, bro. Every time I watch these videos of MrBeast, blessing people, what I always focus on is how they react. Now, some reactions seem very genuine. Others honestly just seem like, first of all, let's talk about the deaf one. Okay, if we talk about the deaf video that he just put out recently, my man's like, there was some other family member or person that, MrBeast obviously helped out. And then, he does that whole thing of like, oh, okay, we solved your deafness. Now here's $10,000, all that type of shit. The one dude literally responded, and I quote, oh, wow. Nigga, you just got $10,000 and you can hear better. And all you can say is, oh, wow. Nigga, what? That's where I was just like, nah, something ain't right here. Even with the blind one, bruh. Like this lady, there was one lady who seemed like she was crying, but not a single tear on her face, bro. They zoomed in on that shit, not a single tear. What are you crying? What are you doing? That is some powerful Grammy award-winning fucking Oscar nominee, all that type of shit. Like that's the best fake crying I've ever seen. Especially when there's kids in the video. Kids can't fucking lie about the excitement, my nigga. I've never seen a kid fake excitement. Teenagers, yes. Adults, 100%. Kids can't fake excitement, dude. And then you see these kids out here, it just feels like they're overdoing it. And I'm just like, it's just hella sus, So look, when he does videos about just him and his gang fucking up a car, or like when he was doing all those scientific experiments before he started doing videos on helping people, when he was doing videos for like, how far can this car jump over 10 school buses, that was okay for me.
Yeah.
The charitable shit is a bit much. You don't have to go above and beyond, you know, like, oh, we got you 10 Teslas, you know, this and this. Obviously, I've heard some, you know, information saying that people who win these things can choose to either just have the money paid out, or, you know, they can actually then keep the asset. But obviously, by keeping the asset, you put yourself at risk of like having to service that fucking expensive thing forever. You know, I don't know if MrBeast even covers, you know, service plans and all that type of shit or whatever, but it's super sus to me. On top of that, I have not seen a single video that is a testimony to what MrBeast has done. That is a good testimony, right? It's in the same way that 2 years after Pimp My Ride ended, niggas started coming out exposing Pimp My Ride for what they did, how they were, and everything. And I knew it. I flipping knew it. To a point where like the acting they even did on the show was impeccable. I was like, wow, this person's really excited. Their life is really gonna turn around and change. My guy, the exposure Pimp My Ride then had. Now, obviously, with MrBeast, the only exposure I guess we could say are all from his ex-employees. Okay, one very recent ex-employee, I forget his name, but he well, their name, I forget their name, because they're transgender now, right? So it's to say that obviously there was a lot of controversy going around that they single-handedly were going to put an end to MrBeast's legacy, and that, you know, like, oh, this has been MrBeast's very close friend. He's been here since day one of MrBeast videos. You know, this and this. Everyone was just waiting for Jimmy, aka MrBeast, to kick that person off the show. Now, they didn't officially do it on MrBeast's channel, but if you've been watching his videos as of late, that person's no longer there. That person then went on to say in a Instagram reel, right, stating, because obviously they were doing like a Q&A type thing, and someone did ask, hey, you know, how come you're no longer in the videos? Were you fired? Now, that person didn't exactly say yes, but it's a yes. You know what I'm saying? And that is what the world was waiting for. It's to say, MrBeast, who was an angel of all sorts and everything, would he really kick his friend off just because they transitioned? You know, everyone was saying, oh, it's going to hurt his business now because of this person. I think his name is Chris. Well, no, their name is Chris. I don't know what their new name is. Shit, I'm fucking up here. But anyways, now, the one thing about the buying the houses, and I was watching Abba and Preach, right, speaking about this. They then said something that I fully agree with, is to say that there's a difference between, you know, the likes of Ed Sheeran buying houses for his friends. And, you know, he bought basically a cul-de-sac, almost similar to what MrBeast did. But for his friends, not his colleagues, or his posse, I should say, right? Ed Sheeran did this for his friends who have families, his friends who are not famous, his friends who he doesn't parade around, right? MrBeast, on the other hand, these so-called friends are also his staff, right? He works with them on like camera. These guys are in the camera. These guys are actively on any flipping adventure MrBeast is on. You know what I'm saying? They are his hype. A solo MrBeast video, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but go watch any video with MrBeast where it's just him versus when he is with the other people, like, you know, Carl, all those other dudes. Go see the difference in MrBeast's energy. It's almost as if Carl and the rest of them carry the hype, because MrBeast will do everything he does, like, you know, when he starts the video, today we're going to be giving like, sure, that's scripted hype, but like MrBeast has a plastered smile on his face, bro, because when you see him in interviews, that thing's gone. That smile, gone. Throughout a whole entire YouTube video, that smile is plastered on. Man must probably have very fucking powerful facial muscles. But I digress. What Abba and Preach were saying is that this is low-key a way of monitoring what your staff does. How do they relax? Do they go overboard with relaxing? Because now, essentially, your boss knows anytime you leave the house. They know. And on top of that, this is a place for you to live. If your boss doesn't like you, he can simply make you homeless. Like, just like that. And I'm just like, you see, that's sus. I don't give a fuck Kojo, you and me have known each other for like 7 years now, right? Nigga, if you gave me a gift that hectic, I would say no. I'm sorry. Because it's not to say I don't trust it. It's a part of me, although we're like very close friends, a part of me is just like, what is the catch, to be honest? Because it's like, it's in the same way if someone ever buys me a game on Steam and I don't play games with you normally, I'm sus. Because like, what does this mean? And there's been a lot of people in the past. I'm not going to name who, but if you know who you are and you look, what you did was nice for me. Thank you for going onto my Steam wish list, and purchasing a game for me. I love you for that. What you must not get twisted is that every time you play that game, you expect me to play it just because you bought it for me. No.
Yeah.
If that is the expectation you have for buying me something, don't buy it for me ever again. Don't buy me anything ever again. If the expectation is that you are buying my time. If you buying me something is essentially you just trying to buy my time, that's not a genuine gift. It's really not. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to the whole thing of like, anyone who says, oh, Tommy, you should totally get this game because like it's really fun with friends. Nigga, if I don't enjoy it solo, I can't guarantee that I'm just going to enjoy it with friends. I can't guarantee that. To me, that's not a factor. That's not a powerful enough factor for me to buy the game. If I'm just gonna play it with friends, because now if you guys are sick or you guys are on holiday or you guys decide to drop the game, where the hell does that leave me, right? I just spend money on this game that no one's touching. True. And it's in the same way people say I do the same thing. 100%, of course I do, but I always try to get you guys a game that is free. Yeah, I'll always try to say, hey guys, check out this new game. It's pretty fun. This and that. It's at least free. I'm not gonna go out of my fucking way and buy people, games of like $500, and all this type of shit. Like play. I did that with Tarkov. Man, I barely see people there. So you see what I'm saying? It's just like, I knew what I was doing when I was trying to do that. I was buying people Tarkov because I wanted them to play with me. I'm not gonna say I'm the best of the best. No. I'm gonna wear my glass slipper. I'm gonna call myself a black kettle. I've done that before, and I also hate it when other people do it. So it's to say that MrBeast doing all these nice things, bro, what is the flippin' catch, honestly? To a point where now even Elon Musk is defending MrBeast on what he's done, all bullshit and everything. That's nice. But it's to also say that, like, okay, cool, but we don't listen to Elon anyway, because what charitable thing has he ever done? At least he stays true to his rich, pompous self and not doing charitable things. Cool, whatever. But the whole MrBeast thing, I'm just like, dude, at what point do you gain, like, your profits, if at all any, where do they come from? Which videos specifically do you gain profits from, and which do you not? Because I've heard so many people say, oh no, all of his profit that he makes off of these videos goes straight to a charity, or he gives them away to the person in the video. Okay, but let's think about this feasibly, right? If you take the numbers off of any of his other people in his team, if you take a look at their numbers, their following, their subscribers, way less than MrBeast. They probably would not even exist without MrBeast, right? It's to say that also people who were formerly working for MrBeast, you barely even hear about them after they've left. There have been 6 employees since the start of MrBeast's rise to fame who are no longer on the show, and none of them had a good thing to say about Jimmy. None. Almost all of them eventually got interviewed by someone, and they always had something to point out about Jimmy that is always just sus, and I'm just like, why the flip does man then still have a platform? It's to say that, look, the same way companies will try get away, with not paying taxes by doing charitable things. Dude, is that to say that's what Jimmy's doing? Like what honestly is the catch, to be honest? But yeah, man, like there's no answer to it. It's just constantly going to be a discussion. But yeah, dude, anytime I hear this guy putting out a new video of doing something, he even announced his next video is going to change YouTube forever. I don't even know what that means. I'm probably still going to watch it because you know what the fuck? And I'm honestly just waiting for Meat Canyon to put out another video, because when he put out a parody video of MrBeast and his fixing the blind, Sorry. Okay, let me cap the discussion short, but I'm going to end off with this final part, is to say that the deaf community came after MrBeast after that video about him restoring, curing deafness, because they said he did not cure deafness. No one can, right? He just helped people with hearing disadvantages by giving them hearing aids. You cannot cure deafness. So the actual deaf people, where hearing aids just don't help them at all, they came after this dude hard. Bruh, they were just like, first of all, it's lying. You're lying in the title of your video, period. You didn't help a single deaf, because that's just not possible. Once you've lost your hearing, you've lost it fully. If you have hearing disabilities, if you can still hear but not enough or not a bit or whatever, and hearing aids are like useful to you, then you're not really deaf. You're just hearing impaired, right? It's in the same way that he says he cured blindness. No, you didn't. Once the rods and cones in your eyes are dead, my nigga, you probably need a new eyeball, fresh optic nerves surgically implanted into you, and in hopes that your brain will accept and connect, strongly. But to most scientific knowledge, if you are blind, you're blind, my nigga. Like, that's it for you. Otherwise, why has the likes of Stevie Wonder not fucking, had his eyesight returned? Because it just doesn't happen. Now, for you to then go into your YouTube title and say that, you're clickbaiting, my guy. So, MrBeast, it is to say that, dude, what are you hiding? Really, like, because you've lied about the blindness. You didn't actually cure blindness. You helped the visually impaired. You didn't cure deafness. You helped the hearing impaired. Why do you then say that you did in your title? What are you doing exactly? He's tweaking the system at the same time, but painting himself to be a nice person. What is the real reason? Like, I could go on for days about this nigga, but I won't. Anyways, that is my discussion, Kojo. Anything you want to say on this shit, dog?
Yeah, I think you pretty much said. I was listening to everything you were saying, and I agree with. I hear where you're coming from, and you said something that actually I never thought of when you mentioned what Abba and Preach said about how he can monitor them now, and when they leave the house, he knows if they're taking too much time off. I never really thought about it that way. I never, and I'm like, that's actually an interesting point. He can do that. So it's a way of saying. He could say, hey, you're taking too much time off. Why are you taking too much time off? Or, hey, you said you were going to be here at this time, but I saw that you took a few detours here and there, and, that type of thing. So that's interesting. I never thought about it that way. It's something I'm going to have to sit down and think about some more. And you're right. There's, very few people do something without expecting anything in return. But there's always a catch, and like you said, MrBeast, he's a content creator. He makes content out of this stuff. That's what he does, and it's one of those things where it's like, would he be doing this stuff if he wasn't a content creator? Would he be helping people see better? Would he be helping people hear better if he didn't put it on camera? Maybe he's doing some stuff. I think he is doing some philanthropy stuff off camera, but it's one of those things where it's like you just don't know, And I hear where you're coming from. It's actually very good points that you raised about him, and it's just one of those things where we just have to wait and see. I'm just waiting to see what next controversy he will end up in. Because, like you said, this new video that he's working on, I want to see what this video is. I don't really I don't really watch MrBeast's videos. Like, nothing against him. But I don't really watch his videos unless it's something that really interests me. But his content really is just not for me, that type of thing. But no hate towards him at all. But this new video that he's hyping up, I definitely want to see what it is, what it's about. But yeah, when it comes to the whole backlash of MrBeast, I understand people on both camps, people defending him and people who are obviously criticizing him and what he does. But yeah, just have to, I guess MrBeast is somebody who just have to watch closely and see, if he slips up here we can call him out on it and things like that. And I think with this whole housing situation, we just have to see how that goes. Because, like you said, it is a slippery slope. So yeah, we'll see.
Oh wait, anything to discuss on your side though? Your own topic?
No. I'm glad we had something to discuss this week. So yeah.
Oh wait,
that was good.
Alrighty, moving on to the news blitz, usually covered by Max. I'll try run through some of the interesting stuff I also found this week. Pokemon Go players have been slamming Niantic, the creator of Pokemon Go, for deleting their accounts. This is because Niantic have created other games under their name, but if you use the same email for those games as well, which most people do, if you then delete your account on those other games, or if you even delete on Pokemon Go, it'll delete for any other game under Niantic's name, which is just wrong. That should just not happen at all. Like, that's stupid. They need to obviously learn how to separate email or whatever counts type thing and not keep it so unified on their back end. But anyways, not to discuss. Sims 4 will now let players choose light or dark themes for the next kits that they will release, meaning if Sims releases a certain outfit on the game, you can actually alter it to look more dark or look more light. The same outfit, same pieces of the outfit, you just get to choose different variations of it. FIFA 23 Bundesliga Tots Bellingham Musiala I don't even know what that is, but yeah, FIFA is now having a Tots Bundesliga coming out. Apex Legends has now released a full list of all their voice actors, bringing on to the new characters that have now been introduced to the game as well. Destiny 2 players have been raising their thoughts on vehicles that should have weaknesses like actual enemies. This comes from like popping tires on a vehicle or shooting it to a certain point, it starts to flare up and explode. Call of Duty players are angry as devs keep removing game modes for no reason. And the big question has been asked, will Crash Team Rumble be on Nintendo Switch? And that is this week's News Blitz. Kojo, any News Blitz from your side?
Not really. Just a few rumors, but then no, I'll discuss those when I really don't like to talk about rumors because rumors, we could discuss anything.
Yeah.
So when it's to do with Mortal Kombat, but when more, there was a teaser trailer that came out and it showed a clock, and well, the first one showed a grain of sand, and then this one showed a clock. And people are speculating that, it's going to be a reboot, they're rebooting it again, type of thing. And other people now there's no evidence of that, it's just a clock, type of thing. So once more information comes out about Mortal Kombat, we'll let you guys know.
Alrighty, sweet, thanks bro. Ladies and gents, that is it for the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you please like, subscribe, and follow for more, whichever is applicable to your preferred platform. We try to make sure that we are everywhere. Otherwise, if you have any comment suggestions or you just want to say hi, you can do so in the comment section. And that is it for this week. We'll catch you guys again next week. Be good, stay healthy, and join us again for more gaming tidbits. This has been X2Skip bringing you the weekly patch notes. We'll see you next week. Cheers all.